Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to check out today's episode, because today, guys, we're going to be talking about the easiest way to catch a bass in the month of November. Actually, probably also into early December, but if you want to go out on any lake across the country that has rock or wood in it, which is a typical man-made lake, I got one technique that is almost guaranteed to catch bass this time of year, so we're going to go over it in today's video here. Also, guys, before we get started, quick reminder that I do got my Fish the Moment winter lake map breakdowns up on the fishthemoment.com website. These are great resources, guys, to get some good fishing places if you're going to go fishing this winter on your favorite lake or a lake you've never been to before. These are maps that's taken me 5 years to build for fishthemoment.com, and they just are really good. It'll point you in the right direction on about any lake that you go to and give you a good overview of each lake. And I'll put the Fish the Moment Lake Map Breakdown link in the description of this video if you guys like to get one. And also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's taken time to hit that subscribe button here to Advanced Bass Fishing, and also everybody that's taken time to, take part of the Patreon and membership aspect of the channel here. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, anybody can guess out there what that is? There's a lot of different possibilities, but guys, I can tell you right now that my go-to, if I want to catch a bass in the winter, in November or early December on about any lake that I go to, I take a finesse jig and I fish it on bluffs. That is almost a guaranteed way, but there's a lot to it, so I'm going to go over that in today's video. And of course, we're going to talk about the jig, guys. This is my Cumberland Pro Lures Power Finesse Throwback jig that I designed. Living rubber frog hair skirt, guys. They got them in three different sizes and 6 different colors. I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link to these in the description of this video if you guys would like to pick up a few after the video. But you want a finesse jig. Little finesse jig, probably 3/8 or ½ ounce is my favorite. And the trailer that I use with it, I use quite a few different trailers. This is a Zoom Speed Crawl that I got here, but I also like a Zoom Super Chunk Junior. Sometimes I'll use a little twin tail, can work pretty good with that. I think I got them up here, I can sort of show you here. Actually, I got them, I must have them in the boat there. Here's a finesse one here. Let me show you the twin tail here. The Super Chunk, guys, this is the Super Chunk here. This is the big one, so it's just the Zoom Super Chunk Junior on the smaller finesse jig. But another one I use quite a bit is a twin tail trailer like this. This is a Zoom twin tail. And all 3 of them work really good. It just really depends on what the fish want day in and day out. So you just sort of have to experiment with it. If the water is really, really clear, like say you got water visibility of over 4 foot or so, I really like this twin tail like this. It's got a lot of visual action to it. And if the water has a little bit more color to it, that's when I'll go to the Super Chunk Junior, chunk like that, or the Speed Crawl if the water visibility is like under 4 foot. And then my color options, you can't go wrong with anything that's brown or green. Any type of brown or green combination, with different secondary colors, all of them work pretty good, but brown and green is what you want to look for. Okay, now let's talk about how you want to do this, what you want to look for. Now there's 2 different type of bluffs that these are going to work in depending upon the lake that you're fishing and how your lake is set up. Almost any man-made lake, I don't know any lake in the country that's a man-made lake that does not have some type of a bluff bank in it. Now the bluff banks are going to be different. Some of the bluffs are going to be vertical walls. Some of them are going to be mixed rock and broken rock and some steep places and irregular features. Some of them are not going to be vertical. Some of them are going to be a little bit more of an angle. But the common thread amongst any bluff bank that you're fishing is the channel swings close into that bluff. That is what makes it really good this time of year for this technique that we're talking about today. So the best way that I can describe that you guys can find this is get on your map, your mapping system or a lake map, and get back either in some of the major creek arms or on some of the main lake stuff if you do have bluffs there, and look for areas where the old river channel or the old creek channel come in close to the bluff area. These are going to be key areas. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be right where the channel comes up against it. The channel can like bend out away from it a little bit, and you're still going to have some fish use those type of areas. But the channel swings and those channel bluffs are going to be the key areas for bass. That's one of the prime areas that fish go to this time of year, moving into the winter months. Now, there's some high percentage areas on this thing. You can literally catch them anywhere on a bluff, But anytime you have any irregular feature, like a little rock slide or a rock transition, a little outcropping, a little indentation, those are always going to be high percentage areas. So when you come to one of those places on a bluff bank, really fish them thoroughly. But the main thing with the bluff deal on the finesse jig is you just have to fish slow. So usually what I do is I'll take my power finesse jig here, power finesse throwback jig, and I'll put it on like 12 to 15 pound test, Seaguar and Vizex 4 carbon line. And I usually use like a 7'2" medium heavy rod. That Megabass Perfect pitch is the one I use for it. And I'll just make long pitches or casts into the bluff bank, and depending upon the water clarity, I'll work it out anywhere between 5 to 25 foot of water out off the bank. General rule of thumb, if the water visibility is super clear, like over 4 foot, you want to work it out into that 20 to 30 foot zone, especially if you have a lake that has a lot of spotted bass in it or smallmouth. Those fish really like to use that 20 to 30 foot zone in clear water bluffs this time of year on the bottom. And then as your water clarity decreases, obviously you're going to move shallower up to the point where, you know, if I've got 2 foot of visibility, which is like pretty much the minimum water clarity I like for this time of year, I'll be concentrated on that 5 to 10 foot zone. So I'm really, you know, paying attention to the zone that I'm fishing in, and try to make your casts and your pitches about 5 feet away from each other to make sure that you're covering everything. Because most of the time it's like there'll be rocks down there and you're bouncing that jig close to a rock, and if there's one underneath that rock where that jig comes by, a lot of times they'll come out and get it. But anyway, guys, it's just a really good way to catch them this time of year. That little finesse jig will outproduce even like a shaky head or a Ned rig a lot of times. It seems like in November and December, they want something small, but they like something with a little bulk to it. And the little finesse jig is something that just fits perfectly into that situation there. So anyway, guys, give it a try, man. Get you a few of my power finesse jigs, Tackle Warehouse link in the description. Get them on 12, 15 pound test line. Just run those bluffs, and I can promise you guys, you'll get some good bites doing that. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.